Ugh, that intro sucked. Let me get my own. Here, I'll just make it. I don't even have one. I'll just go ahead and make one. It's easy. All you gotta do is find a song that gets the blood flowing and the juices pumping, and then you just gotta find some ultra-violent video game footage and then play that shit and loop them over each other, and then bam, there you go. I mean, look, this shit's easy. Yeah, been a while since you heard that song, I bet. You didn't forget about it, did you? Because I didn't. It was the hardest song in Guitar Hero. Was it 2, 3 years ago? Long? Oh, yeah, it's great. Good stuff, good stuff. I couldn't beat it. Fuck no. Anyway, here we go.
What's up, guys? It's John from JohnKill3D Gaming, and today I'm doing something a little different.
Hi, it's me, Rags, from Rags. That sounds stupid, doesn't it?
It's not a review. I got a couple reviews coming.
I mean, I personally can't wait, but let's move along.
Today is my top 5 reasons why console gaming is better than PC gaming.
I mean, a controller could just as easily signify PC gaming, but alright.
Now, this video was inspired by my buddy at Got Him Gaming. He did his own take, his own idea of why he feels things are better for the consoles than they are PC.
Yeah, I saw that video. It was shite.
So I'm gonna do one for myself. It'll break up the different, because I've been breaking up my videos into different segments. Did the food videos, do the reviews, do other shit here. But let's see how this goes. So,
oh, we know how it's gonna go. It's gonna be a train wreck, just like every other person who did this before you.
I hope you guys enjoy this video.
You won't.
Of the top 5 reasons why PC is nothing compared to a console. So sit back.
Sorry, did your own stock transition footage cut you off?
We're here talking about the first reason why consoles.
What your voice got worse. Why would you do that? Why would you make the bulk of your video with the worst mic?
Is better than PC. One, naturally when you play a video game, your hands are gonna naturally gravitate toward a controller.
To all the watchers of this video who are above legal drinking age, take a shot every time he says naturally. Or don't, because you'll probably die.
Controllers have been around since the very beginning,
Well, that depends on what you consider the beginning of video games.
The Pong machine, which is considered the very first video game machine, all the way up to...
I mean, that's actually not true. Ralph Baer here invented the brown box. I spent some time with a brown box once, if you catch my drift. That was in 1967, and Magnavox released the Odyssey actually months before Pong was released. That was in 1972, so no, Pong was not the first. And yes, that was a black person's vagina joke. Stick around, it gets better.
All the way up to arcade sticks, up to NES, SNES, Genesis, Commodore 64, Nintendo 64, anything you gravitate to. You want to use a controller in your hand.
Unless, of course, you don't. I mean, I don't.
Mouse and a keyboard can be great. I'm not giving it its doubts. It's only good for strategy games.
That's like saying a console controller is only good for platformers. It's like saying ShamWows are only good for cleaning up scenes of a murder. That's like saying relatives with Down syndrome are only good enough for insurance fraud. Ooh, that got dark quick, didn't it?
Not good for FPS, not good for action adventure, not good for anything that's not strategy based, and I've seen this.
Yeah, I know, I just threw up a little too. You'll get used to it, don't worry. It comes with the territory. That's why if you ever fall asleep listening to one of these videos, you want to lie on your side, alright, so you don't choke on your own vomit. Imagine how many lives I just saved. In any event, the ridiculous claim here is that the mouse and keyboard are not good for anything apart from strategy games. But the thing is, there's a lot of strategy in everything. Shooters, RTSs, platformers, there's a level of strategy in all things. That is, of course, nitpicking, so we'll continue. I've already addressed this in the past, and so has basically every other person on the internet. It's widely regarded as an accepted fact that, especially for first-person shooters, the mouse and keyboard are far superior. In fact, no doubt many of you, after watching his footage of him playing Overwatch with what is obviously a controller, are screaming internally trying to say, just fucking shoot them, why aren't you just fucking shooting them? Again, I'll be quick because this is a horse people have been beating to death for ages. On the keyboard side of things, it is much more customizable. Every player can tailor the button combinations and mapping to his personal preferences. There are also far more buttons, which open up far more possibilities for button mapping while using your left hand on a keyboard as compared to the left hand while holding a controller. A hand resting on a keyboard normally is touching 5 buttons: mouse, WASD, and shift, depending on your preferences. But you can also access tab, caps lock, Q, Z, X, C, V, F, E, R, T, G, B, control, alt, and all these buttons can be customized to whatever you like them best. However, on the precision side, what most people are referring to is the mouse control on a first-person shooter. Let's consider this. The mouse is controlled by more than just your fingers, but your wrist as well. Your whole hand assists in moving the mouse onto what you need to shoot at. On the controller, it's just one thing, your thumb. Input lag is also generally much lesser on a gaming mouse or even a regular mouse. The less delay between what you tell your computer to do and what you see on the screen, the more accurate you will be, because it offers you a more realistic reflection of the targets and where they are. Similar to the keyboard, the mouse also has a number of functions that can be customized almost endlessly. The Logitech G600 mouse that I have has 3 buttons to click on top, a mouse wheel that can be moved left and right, and 12 buttons on the left-hand side that my thumb can access whenever I need them to be. This has proven incredibly useful for me personally, and I would recommend this mouse, well, to anybody. The sensitivity of the movements themselves are also much more easily controlled on the mouse. On the controller, you have a flat, static, objective maximum. That is the speed at which you can turn or look at objects with that controller stick. The amount of muscle control that you can assert over the mouse and where it is going allows you to much more easily swap between the motions required to either look quickly or look more slowly and precisely. Now, I often bring up this article because it continues to be an excellent source of information regarding keyboard and mouse versus controller in terms of a first-person shooter. This is a Daily Dot article. The best console Titanfall players took on a PC team, and here's what happened. If you don't want to go and actually read the article, which you should because it's very informative, and knowledge is power, the best console players took on a PC team that doesn't play Titanfall all that much, and they lost because, to even their own admission, the mouse is more precise and lets them do things that you just can't do on console. Even with the extensive map knowledge and information that they knew about the game specifically, they still lost just because they were getting outshot consistently. Again, we're sort of beating a dead horse here. Everyone and their mother has already talked about why the mouse and keyboard is better for first-person shooters. The assertion that they are not is ridiculous. He mentioned other genres, but again, I'm really sick of beating this dead horse, so I'm gonna leave it there and we'll proceed.
I know some people are going to disagree with me. Some people are going to raise hell and raise the pitchforks and be like, let's get him, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, but...
Yeah, that's because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I've been playing video games since the fucking day I can talk.
Those sound like better days.
Like today with our current consoles, we have we have the Xbox One controller, the Wii U remote, the Wii U gamepad, the Wii controller, and we also have the PlayStation DualShock 4. Personally, DualShock 4 is my favorite, and I'll explain to you why this can work over a keyboard. One, the D-pad, it can naturally gravitate from the D-pad to the thumbsticks.
Take a shot. But notice this doesn't even make sense. Naturally gravitate from? So what you're saying is you have to have your thumb leave the thumbstick in order for you to access the D-pad. You have to sacrifice moving your character to access the D-pad. Now, I'm no expert or anything, but all of my MLG Pro Super Swag 420X 360 no-scope friends tell me that moving in first-person shooters it's sort of a big deal.
Your hands naturally gravitate toward the thumbsticks.
Whoop, take a shot.
The trigger buttons are perfectly placed to where your fingers can reach them accessibly.
Well, duh. I mean, the controller is designed to be held with your hands. The trigger buttons which shoot your guns and look down the sights of your guns, they'd better be easily accessible by my fingers. Good job. Bravo, designers. Thanks for not looking over that. That's excellent. Fantastic. Good job. I mean, controllers, they have a start button to access the menu. I mean, whoa, good job. You want a gold star?
The same for the button pads with the triangle, square, X, and circle.
And if you want to access those buttons, your thumb has to leave the right thumbstick, which means you cannot look or change your looking directions while you access those buttons. So, want to turn and reload? Sorry, want to turn and jump? That's too bad. Do you want to look in a direction, or do you want to perform one of those actions? You gotta make a choice.
Your left thumb naturally jumps back and forth between the button pad and the analog stick. Same with the D-pad and the analog stick on the left side, the left and the right.
Yeah, stop taking shots. I don't kill yourself here. Anyway, this is why the rebinding of keys can be so important. That way, if you feel like you want to be able to crouch and look right, or maybe reload and move to the right, I mean, you could rebind all this stuff as you see fit. It's up to you to customize and personalize. It's not like on a controller where you have to sacrifice important movements to do other important movements.
You both have your left side of the controller, your right side of the controller.
Wow, it has a left and a right side?
Some people prefer the weird analog design of the Xbox. Some people prefer the classic style controllers of Nintendo.
Wait, Nintendo?
And gamers who are professional play with the PlayStation remote because they know naturally your hands are going to move excessively quick to the controls.
Okay, stop drinking. You have a problem. But I'm pretty certain if I went to a conglomerate of Major League Gaming players who do this for a living and I told them, what do you use for your first-person shooters? They'd say mouse and keyboard. They wouldn't say, oh yeah, the PlayStation controller. It's just so natural. My hands, they just naturally form onto the thumbsticks. It's like it was meant to be. So natural.
Everything is there for you, and not only that, controllers are continuing to innovate.
Well, of course they have to innovate. That's because they recognize that they're a shitty input device, and they have to constantly try to come up with ways that they can less stifle people's ability to play video games. And I'm certain they would happily sell you a $150 controller so that you don't feel as hampered as you do with the normal ones. And if you don't feel hampered by them, it's because you're just used to it.
What can PC innovate on? Oh yeah, you can use PC controllers, but PC controllers are not original. They're just basically rip-off design concepts of the current controllers, or you can use the current gen controllers on the PC.
Alright, there's a lot of dumb in that bit, so we'll address it piece by piece. What can PC, keyboard, and mice, what can they innovate? That's a good question, because at this point, the keyboard and mouse is so functional, so customizable, so personalizable. Is that a word? Personalize. Okay, it is. Good. For the most part, the innovation done with keyboard and mice is just the details, maybe. Because they're already so functional. You say that PC controllers are not original. They're either rip-offs of the consoles or they're the actual console controllers. So, bravo. Bravo, John. You gave us both the options it could possibly be. They're either rip-offs or they're not. Congratulations.
So, I mean, that's a plus and that's a one-up over the PC.
So we can use official controllers, third-party controllers, and the mouse and keyboard. And that's a one-up over the PC? For consoles? No, it's not. You're dumb.
I mean, I know I'm gonna get shit for this, but...
Well, that's because your mouth hole is like a waterfall of stupid drivel, splashing and cascading with ignorance. You're coming online and you're talking stupid.
The PC really does not. Not only that, we have different features with our controllers. The PC does not. This controller works for... Our controllers work for motion controls.
Ooh boy, motion controls. I am so envious of those things.
Our controllers work for universal ID, what we want to do. There are remote to change things.
Look, if you need a script, use a script. It's okay. There's no shame in that.
There are remote to press play, press start, kind of like a DVD remote.
Wait, media functions? Are you serious? Do you know how many keyboards have built-in media functions? I mean, no, of course you don't. Of course you don't. Why did I ask? Why do I ask?
Our remote to play games, our remote to
play games, woohoo.
Use the interactive games with our cameras, such as the Kinect doesn't use that, but the Wii does it.
Ha, controllers win because the Wii. And I think most people don't really care for motion controls. I mean, that's why that market's really not taken off right now.
The Wii U does it as well, and the PlayStation 4 does it with its PSI camera, especially when you play the Playroom games.
Yeah, those Playroom games, man. I mean, those things are selling like hotcakes. Stores just can't stock enough to keep up with the immense demand. I mean, good luck getting your hands on a PlayStation Eye camera for all those Playroom games.
That's pretty much what I had to say on this section with its controllers and accessories. We have, not only that the camera, every accessory for the consoles is great.
If a tenth of the people who watched this video went out and bought a PlayStation Eye, the suits at Sony HQ would be going, holy shit, what the fuck just happened?
What accessories does a PC have? Headset, headset, rip-off controllers, webcam, keyboard. That's all.
Well, earlier on you said we had both, so you can't really go back on that, unless you want to go back on that. But you don't, because then you'd be wrong. But you being wrong it's basically tradition at this point, and who am I to break tradition? I mean, I'm a traditional guy. Missionary. Love it. Love it. Fantastic. Just the best. The best thing ever. I mean, if I can't headbutt you while we are fucking, I want nothing to do with it. As for the peripherals you can use for the PC, I'm not even going to get into the flight sticks and the steering wheels and the pedals. You also have the non-gaming uses for the PC. You have everything from webcams, video projectors, TV tuners, speakers, printers, scanners, backup power supplies. You know, the kind of stuff that makes the world go round.
Hope you guys understood that part of the video at least. Number 2 is that consoles are more accessible to players than PC. I'm gonna tell you why.
Oh, please do.
Because when you go to a game, when you want to play a game, especially since the beginning.
Wait, what do you mean since the beginning? When I want to play a game since the beginning, I don't know what you mean.
You come home, you sit on a sofa, you want to naturally,
motherfucker, take a shot.
Grab a controller, take your disc, cartridge, yada yada, whatever you had at the time, pop it in.
I mean, that's going to be difficult because you told us to pick up the controller first. Now you're telling us to put things in your console. I mean, wouldn't you want to pick up the controller after you require the use of your hands to... I mean, it's so damn easy, but you can't even tell us how to do it right.
And play. Console is very simple to boot up, simple interfaces, simple accessibility for players. Not like PC, you have to install a game.
Because there is no installation of games on the console. Doesn't happen. You don't have to do it. Doesn't exist, fairy tale, figment of your imagination. If one of your friends says he has to, he's a liar. Go to his house tonight and murder him in his sleep.
Download a game, and then for a long period of time you had to put in little codes just to access the game.
Well, yeah, but that only applies if you buy physical copies of something. And if you buy a digital copy of something and want to put it on Steam, so if you go to G2A or the Humble Bundle or something like that, you just copy the code, go to Steam, paste the code, and... I mean, how do you fuck that up? It's literally a copy and paste affair. And if there's anything I'm an expert in, it's affairs.
You have to go through different services to play video games. Not all the games on PC are accessible for people.
Well, different services are good because they compete, and when services compete, the consumer wins because everyone's vying for the most business. They're also compatible with one another too, in a lot of cases. That's why I can go to get a code someplace and put it into Steam and it works. That's why when Origin gives refunds, Steam has to give refunds now because they're competing services and Steam wants the business that Origin has and vice versa. Competing markets are good for the consumer. These kinds of markets are so small on the console, Xbox Live doesn't give a shit, PlayStation Network doesn't give a shit, they know you're gonna go there. I want to talk accessibility? This is No Hands Ken because he understands how humor works. He's a quadriplegic. He plays on PC. He streams. He's probably a reverse cowgirl kind of guy. If a quadriplegic can play on PC, I mean, you'd have to be, like, dead to be disqualified. Unless, of course, you're referring to the soft bigotry of low expectations, and you're saying that console gamers are too dumb to know how a PC works? Here, you want to know how easy it is to put a game on Steam? Here, I'll do it right now. I'll fucking buy a game right now. Fine. No, that's fine. That's fine. I'll fucking buy a game right now. What is this? Love the videos, especially the length of each one made. Yeah, and I'm big on length. Here, how about this? Here, that's a free-to-play game. Here, look, here, okay, here's what you gotta do. Here's all you gotta do. Okay, go to Steam. Go to Steam, right? Play a game. It'll ask you, where do you want to put it? All right. Next. I agree. In there. There. It's downloading. There, it's downloading. Right there. It's right fucking... there it is. Right there. It's fucking right there. Now you just click play and you're in the game. That's it. That's it.
Consoles have been accessible since the beginning. Even to handheld gaming. Handheld gaming is more accessible than a console. And then, no, not a console. Retract that. Don't use that against me. Than a PC.
No, you were right. Mobile gaming is the most accessible gaming that there is. You can take it anywhere. You can have all these games on your phone. It fits in your pocket. You can do it on the go. You can do it at home. That's why it's growing so fast. That's why there's so many mobile games out there. That's why so many people play mobile games and they don't consider themselves gamers.
Handhelds, this is how I always viewed it. Console first, handheld second, then PC last. Because the only time I have been playing PC games, I've tried to play games that are on the console, that are on the PC. Can't naturally do it.
Take a shot.
I've tried hard, so no one can say I haven't done it. It's just that strategy games and certain games, yes, you can play on the PC. That they're meant to be there, but...
Oh, so some games just shouldn't be on some platforms. There's a good, solid pro gamer foundation.
The console has done... they're accessibly better because not only that the console thrusts you, makes you feel like you're part of something, makes you feel like you're actually involved.
Say what?
You can control things much easier. You're more of an involved player.
So try to explain to me how you're more involved in the process of playing the game on console when you have things like auto-aim.
Than you are on the PC. You know, people say, okay, the PC can turn up its graphical cards.
Turn up our graphical cards. Your level of expertise is astounding. Maybe you're referring to overclocking, which is, yes, another level of control we have over our hardware, which is optional, I might add. An option you don't have.
Blah, 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 but you have to build, you have to put so much enhancements, accessories, tune the game, tune the PC. You have to make sure the PC can run the damn game first.
I mean, that takes about 5 minutes to do if you're slow. As for the enhancements and fine-tuning, a lot of it is optional. It's based on the user who can tailor that all to his personal experience. Well, I mean, it's easier to go to Walgreens and buy a one-size-fits-all sandal, but if you take a little bit of extra time and look up and down the aisle at the options you have, you can find the sandal that fits your feet the best. And when you do that, even though it took you a little bit more time to get it, you'll experience the benefits with every single step you take. You won't have to just shrug your shoulders and deal with the decisions that you've made.
When a console can immediately run the game.
Yeah, run it shitty.
Granted, it has a few bumps and bugs and glitches, but you know what? Those are overlooked because they get patched up relatively quickly.
Patches occur faster and more frequently on the PC. On console, they can take longer because they need to be properly certified to a degree before their release, because Microsoft and Sony have to make sure that this patch doesn't damage the console itself. Not that they damage PCs, but... And remember, it wasn't until recently that developers had to pay Microsoft and Sony to patch and update their own games. This is a flip side effect too. It means that bad patches that do occur on the console take longer to fix as well. To sum it all up, it allows developers and publishers to more quickly access issues in their games and change them on the fly as necessary.
Like, in the past few years, they've tried to release certain games on the PC, and they've looked horrible. Batman Arkham City.
Name a second example. Or are you people going to cling to that one bad developer who released that game for PC that one time, that nobody else wanted to be a repeat of?
Was one of them. That game was shitty on PC. PC ports are fucking terrible.
Even bad PC ports are better than console versions. Plus, they are normally patched quickly and made to be better experiences. Still waiting on that second example, by the way, or is Arkham City the only thing you can think of? That one game, that one time? It's very telling that people, when we bring up things like this, they don't name examples. They just sort of wave their hands in the air and say, ooh, the specter of bad PC ports. Yeah, they're way better than our console versions, but ooh, bad ports.
The console was able to do it justice. It looked like a fucking... It's like... You play like, say, here's an example. You play Batman on the console, it's the fucking, you are the Dark Knight. You play Batman on the PC, you are on PCP. You have to be on some fucking PCP. You're gonna be like, that's how you fucking sound.
Well, that's a good question. What happens if you buy Arkham Knight on PC now? Well, we can go and check. While the overall reviews are mixed, with 57% being positive because of the absolutely awful launch of the game, the recent reviews are 87% positive in the last 30 days. So, the game was patched and it was fixed, and 87% of people now give it a thumbs up. Oh, but keep talking about how terrible Arkham Knight is, and how bad PC gaming is.
Like, and then these, like, the console memes are funny, especially they say console's not more accessible, PC's more accessible.
Well, if you're not retarded, there is a case to be made for that. You, in your opening segment, have a laptop, and it's open to YouTube, and it's laying on your bed. You have a YouTube channel, so you obviously know how to work a computer. You can edit a computer. I mean, these are not difficult things to know how to do, yet you know how to do them. And if you, of all people, know how to operate a computer, well, basically anybody can. It also depends on what you grew up with. If you grew up with a PC, then yeah, it's far more accessible than all of a sudden learning how to use a console.
These people must have been hit on their fucking head as a child. I mean, they talk about how CS:GO is so great, Gary's Mod, Gmod, whatever the fuck that game is.
Oh, so you don't even know and you're bashing it. That's a good, healthy attitude to have. Trying and attempting to understand new things is an important part of growing up, and it helps to be adventurous in the bedroom.
Okay, granted, they have those over us.
He conceded a point?
Are you ready for a miracle? Are you ready for a miracle? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready for a miracle? Are you ready for a miracle?
But big fucking deal. We have things of our own, which I'm gonna get to.
Oh, well, on the PC, we be like,
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
Which one of these top reasons is about that, and I'm not gonna spoil what those top reasons are because.
oh yeah, because we wouldn't want a spoiler for this amazing video. I mean, the reason that I've been here so far is because I want the big payoff at the end. I want the finale. Don't ruin it for me now.
People should know what that top reason is, because there's something we have on PC that PC does not have over us.
There's something you have on what?
And we will always have that. Not only that, our services on the console are better. Granted, we pay for our online now, but you know what? It's worth it because of the benefits and the bonuses we receive.
Oh, it's worth it, huh? Oh, it's worth paying all that money to play games you own on a system you own with internet connection that you pay for on a console that you've bought with other people online. I mean, it's worth it, huh? Well, if it's so worth it, then why don't they make it optional? All right? If you guys think it is so totally worth it, why don't these companies make it optional? I mean, it's worth it. People would still pay anyway, right? I mean, nobody would possibly opt out of paying for these services because, I mean, it's just so worth it, right? Meanwhile, Steam, Origin, it's all free.
From the companies that we are faithful to, and they don't screw over their fan base.
And there we have it. The biggest problem in video games today: loyalty to companies and corporations, faith in companies and corporations. Why, John? Why do you have this trust, this faith in a company, in a corporation? Especially one like Microsoft or Sony, who has made it practically a contest between the two of them to see who can screw over their consumers the most. Don't you understand that they're counting on your blind loyalty? Don't you understand that they want you to just be faithful to them? That you want them to just do whatever they say, to accept everything that they give you? They want you to lick your lips over scraps. They don't want you to see a better version of your hobby. They want you to accept gladly what they give to you, not what they make you pay for, needlessly. We just talked about the services, Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, which has now raised its price. Oh, but that's what it's doing it for its consumers, right? We're raising the price of the service you shouldn't have to pay for because we care about the consumers, right? This really deserves its whole video in and of itself. Sony says no to mods. They increase the price of PSN. They don't want cross-platform play with the Xbox players. They try to trademark the phrase, let's play. You've got Xbox, who, remember what they tried to do to you in 2013. Nobody should forget what they tried to do to you in 2013 with the launch of the Xbox One. One of the most anti-consumer moves ever done in the industry. Always online with online checks, no used games, DRM out the asshole. Oh, and remember when they said there will never be an Xbox One without Kinect, that it was impossible for it to happen, and then they changed their minds. The very nature of console gaming is restrictive. But they know that there are fools like you out there who will go out and say, oh, yeah, I'll pay for this product, I'll pay for the service, you haven't given me anything. Yeah, I'll run with these promises, I'll run with these scraps of information that I'm given, because no matter what, I'll be loyal to a company. No matter what, I'll be for Xbox. No matter what, I'll be for PlayStation. Sony can do no wrong. Microsoft can do no wrong. I will support them no matter what. And they count on that, and they take advantage of that. And as a result, the gaming marketplace is warped and castrated and turned into this strange amalgamation of awfulness. Because consumers just shrug their shoulders and say, oh, okay, well, yeah, they're screwing me up the asshole here, but that's all right because it's Microsoft. And I sure do love Microsoft. I sure do love Sony. They can do no wrong. It doesn't matter what they do to me, what they take away from me, what they deny me the ability to do for no reason, what they make me pay for out of sheer greed. Because they know that there are people like you, John, like you, and all of the other corporate slaves out there who will nod their heads and say, yes, 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 absolutely, yes, thank you so much, Microsoft, thank you so much, Sony, for letting me do this. You're the problem, John. Sony could barge in your house in the middle of the night and shoot the family dog and rape your mom, and you'd be like, oh, well, at least they didn't charge me for it.
And they don't have shitty PC ports. So that's the second reason for this video. I hope, if you're still sticking along,
Oh, it's tough, but I'm hanging in there somehow. I think it's all the shots I've been taking along the way.
that you're still understanding. So, good job if you are. Alright, now let's get into this next section, which is...
game audio and narration audio. Wait, no, what?
Is there really a graphical difference? Is there?
Yeah, well, absolutely there is. I mean, should I even entertain this?
For number 3, is there really a graphical difference?
How do you argue there isn't? I'm honestly fascinated. I'm so curious to see how you even attempt to justify the notion that this question should be asked. If you're a pro console gamer and you don't like the PC, why would you even bring this up? This is not the hill you want to die on, John.
I've seen the PC gameplays and I've seen the console gameplays.
With your own eyes or on YouTube?
Either you guys have vision and sight that I do not, because I'm pretty sure I have good ass vision. I've never worn glasses, da-da-da-da-da.
Irrelevant. Helen Keller could see the difference.
But they said that you can see a graphical difference. It looks more realistic on PC. Things are smoother and faster. Things are more accurate, not choppy and blocky. You guys don't... I used to hear this argument, oh, you guys don't run at 60 frames per second. You fucking morons. The PS4 and the Xbox... Well, no, I don't think the Xbox runs at that many frames. I heard it doesn't.
Well, you heard wrong, and you didn't double check on something that you've heard. The Xbox One can get up to 60 FPS. It doesn't happen often, right? Sacrifices must be made. Consoles are the quintessential example of compromise. I mean, I would consider 60 FPS the bottom line for what people should shoot for on the PC, and most games don't get up to that on consoles.
The PS4 runs at that same amount of speed.
Speed is an unusual way to describe it.
It's just as powerful as a PC.
Maybe a really, really weak PC from years and years and years and years ago.
You know, just because they say, oh, we could put in our graphics cards. Okay, no, we can make them better. You know, we have more options, more mods. We can mod our graphics. Then you're pretty much destroying something that's already great by adding your 2 cents and adding your fucking taste on the graphics. There's no need for that. Enjoy the graphics the way they are already.
I've heard this before. It's very rare. Most people are smart enough to not ever bring this up because it's stupid. But John here is a special kind of stupid. He's basically saying that the option that we have to install mods at our leisure, to upgrade and change our hardware, and to even adjust graphics settings in-game is a bad thing. He does this with the unbelievably foolish justification that you are ruining games by doing this. Now, of course, graphical options in-game are there to be adjusted. They're there for the users themselves to tailor to what their preferences, what they like to see, what they don't mind not seeing, and how many frames they want to have versus the looks. This is user control. This is the ability to customize and personalize based on your whims and what you care about. Apparently, someone can construe this as a bad thing. Who knew, right? He's saying if you mod the graphics or install mods or change the graphics, you're ruining something that is already great. What if it isn't great? What if it is great and you want to make it better? The only way that this justification could hold any water, just a drop of water, would be if graphics were perfect. They were made by perfect companies and perfect entities and literally were flawless. Well, no, even that wouldn't work because a lot of the times, even graphics can be subjective to a degree in certain instances. So while somebody might want to play, for instance, Doom at 60 FPS at a certain level of graphics, maybe I want 144 FPS, and I don't mind toning down the graphics in some ways in order to get that higher FPS. John is the embodiment of the whatever you give me, I will accept gladly mentality that really is a huge liability on the community on consoles and kind of in gaming in general, though you don't really see this in the PC crowd. He'll lap up whatever scraps are given to him. He'll accept what is given to him, and he doesn't want to change it. He doesn't want to personalize it. He doesn't want to do anything that he can to change what he's been given. Now, what this means, of course, is that the developers or the creators of something are the sole arbiter in what is or is not correct or right about it. So let's say you boot up Skyrim, which is an alright looking game, and you want to put in a higher resolution texture on boulders, or if you want to change the water, or maybe the skyboxes, or you want to add a better looking version of leather armor into the game, the list is endless. What you're doing by making objective improvements to what are, and the game has a lot of poor textures in it, what you're doing by this is, by his reasoning, ruining the game. Installing a mod that increases the resolution of a texture or a skin or anything like that is ruining the game because it wasn't done by the developers. And of course, developers cannot make any mistakes. They can do nothing wrong. Anything that deviates from their artistic vision, even though by the time it makes it onto the console, that artistic vision has been compromised to keep up with the hardware, it doesn't matter. To John, changing anything ruins the game. It destroys the game. Obviously asinine. I'm surprised I spent this much time talking about it. It should be self-evidently stupid to every single person who watches this.
Unless you know it's a shitty game with shitty graphics, then do something to it. But don't touch good games like COD, Doom, Star Wars Battlefront, which looks ultimately realistic to the Star Wars films. And if you touch that with any frickin' graphical mods, then you're just a disgrace.
This kid's mouth is a waterfall of stupidity. It never ends and it never runs dry. It's always the monsoon, and the waters are always flowing. I'll excuse the good games like COD remark and move straight to his last example, Battlefront, where he praises the graphical fidelity of the game. And the game does look good, but even the best-looking games can always look better. For instance, many of you might be familiar with a YouTuber named Jack Frags, who recently released a video of a 4K Realism mod for Star Wars Battlefront. The video, running in 4K, was 538 megabytes for me to download to put into this video. It takes the already very lovely graphics of Star Wars Battlefront and turns them up to 12. So even the example that you hoist onto a pillar looks already far better in a vanilla version on the PC, but with graphical mods enabled for the PC, it becomes an entirely new animal.
Join me or die.
Our walk is exposed. Keep the rebels away from it. The rebels have activated an uplink station.
So don't call us a disgrace for taking an already beautiful game and making it even more beautiful to behold. You're the disgrace for saying it should never be done.
Games like Overwatch, Battleborn, GTA, even games that didn't have great graphics and that were improved in their graphics, you know, there's not much of a graphical difference. I'm sorry, I don't see the graphical difference.
If you honestly cannot distinguish the graphical differences between the PC and the consoles, then it's very likely you actually do have a problem with your eyesight, and you should consult an optometrist as soon as possible. In the meantime, I would refrain from operating power tools or heavy machinery.
The graphical difference, it shouldn't be much to go on, but it is a huge mention because for years I've played on console, I've played 25% on PC.
Wow, it's crazy. 25%, a nice, perfect benchmark number like that. Exactly 1/4, huh? That sure is convenient. You made this video just in time.
But I've obtained basic knowledge enough to know. I've even talked to people who play PC, and sometimes they say they see the difference, sometimes they don't see the difference. It's not a big deal, it's just the console they prefer. But then you get those PC fanboys that tell you, oh yeah, we're better, our graphics are superb.
Yeah, they say that because our graphics are better. We can literally do things consoles cannot. We have options that don't even exist on the console in terms of anti-aliasing and anisotropic filtering and all that jazz. We have objective measurements of settings for graphics that don't exist on consoles.
We make consoles look like shit. Okay, if you made our console look like shit, why is the console the norm?
Well, it's not the norm, and PC gaming isn't the norm either. There is no norm, there is no default answer. But, to borrow from the playbook of Matt Dillahunty, we can all agree that this jar of jelly beans has either odd or even an amount of jelly beans in it. But which is the default answer? Odd or even? Well, there isn't one. Just like with playing video games, there's no default as to whether you choose a console or a PC. There are many places around the world, for instance, where console gaming just isn't even considered. There's a lot of Eastern European countries, South American countries, a lot of places in Asia. Console gaming just isn't a thing. Even here in the United States, and the United States is not the world, as much as I love my country, #BuildTheWall. Even here, it isn't the default answer. More and more people are going to the PC, especially nowadays with this very depressing generation.
PC at this rate is a last resort. You know, maybe because PC is done by Microsoft. Oh, did I just say that out loud? Huh?
Was that supposed to be like a gotcha moment? Because it doesn't make any sense. PC gaming is not done by Microsoft. Hell, at this point, PC gaming is done poorly by Microsoft. They're gonna have to get their shit together at this point in time. If you're referring to the operating system, then saying that Microsoft has control, it doesn't even make sense because it's an open platform. We can do pretty much anything we want to on a Windows operating system. And if you don't want to go that route, you have Mac, you have the Steam OS, you have Linux. Even on PC, you have an option on the most base level, the operating system. As for it being a last resort option, I don't understand what you mean by this. I think what you might be coming from is that a lot of people are moving from consoles to the PC. So you're assuming in your head that since it's not a lot of people's first option, it's a last resort, when really they make the change in order to improve on what was their first decision. That's what I did.
There is no graphical difference. I'm pretty sure I've seen side-by-side comparisons on people's videos of different games.
Well, you can't really see the true difference until you see it with your naked eyes. But again, as I said, if you really can't see the differences between console graphics and PC graphics, you really, really might want to get your eyes checked. You might have serious optical issues.
There is really not much of a graphical difference. The only way there's a graphical difference is because you enhance the system manually instead of putting them side by side already. Like, don't tamper with the graphics, let all the graphics stand side by side to see the difference.
You don't understand how any of this works, do you? What do you mean alter or tamper or change or modify? You don't get it. One of the most base concepts of the PC is the freedom to adjust graphics to fit our personal preferences, especially concerning the ever-present trade-off between ooh pretty and ooh frame rate. The only way that we could adjust the settings of the PC in order for it to match to the consoles would be to turn all the settings down and to lower the resolution. But when you do put them side to side, often you get the obvious differences between the PC and the consoles. With ReCore, a very, very recently released game, you can tell there are obvious graphical differences. It's night and day in this instance. I mean, this is an almost laughable example. This is almost like a joke picture. The level of difference is just astounding.
Don't do your enhancements with the visual cards and all that shit just to prove a point.
Enhancing the visual cards. I don't even.
Because that basically, it's like you're cheating on an essay, trying to look at the kid who's getting everything right in class, but you're looking at the dumb kid that doesn't know jack shit, and then you want to beat his ass after class because you failed your essay.
That doesn't make any sense.
When you should have been researching this whole time.
How dare you even say the word research? How dare you?
Recently, before doing this video, I saw a graphical difference between PC,
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm watching you play, and I'm watching this footage in the back, and you're awful at this game. You can't aim, and the game is obviously playing on like easy or normal at the most, which for Doom is just a travesty. I mean, look at this. I mean, here he is. I got him. Oh, no, I missed. I got to turn around. Yep. All right, I got him. With a blast. Oh, I clipped him there. Oh, I'm going to shoot over here.
Xbox One, PS4, and I think Doom's on. Is Doom on the Wii? No, Doom's not on the Wii U. Hell no, it's not. There's not much of a graphical difference. They all run at the same speed, 60 frames per second.
No. You know what I did? I went and I made this graphic right here. I made this just now. I made it. And I didn't know how to do the whole transparency thing with the helmet and the image underneath. I didn't know how to do any of that stuff. I had to learn how to do it, and I'm super proud of it, right? So you encouraged me with your utter stupidity to learn something about editing images. I can run Doom at 144 frames per second. What about you, son?
They all run at equal amount of hardware, mind you. So
they all run at equal amount of hard power. I consider myself among the world's leading experts in hard power. I have no idea what you mean. And when you say they run at equal levels of hardware, well, that would only be the case if the PC and the consoles had the same hardware, and they don't. I have SLI 980 Ti's, Zotac, Amp Extremes, amazing cards. It is not the same level of hardware as an Xbox. It surpasses it by magnitudes.
That's really much it for the graphical differences. There's no graphical differences in my eyes, and if there is to you, kudos to you. So I hope you understood this section at least.
No, most of that was inane drivel. You have no idea what you're talking about. You're just taking shots in the dark here.
We're here at number 4, and number 4 is consoles have exclusives.
Oh boy.
Devoted strictly to them, that PC does not have its own exclusive games. PC does not have exclusive console games like the console does.
PC does not have exclusive console games like the console does. This silence is intentional. I want you to let that sink in. I'm going to give it a few more seconds. And we're good.
Consoles such as Xbox, the Wii U, Xbox One, and the PS4. What does the Wii U have? Let's start with that, get it out the way. Wii U has the Super Mario games, the Sonic games, the Legends of Zelda, Pokemon. Exclusive to them.
Yeah, but we can emulate all these games. So, at this point, are they really exclusives to Nintendo products? I even booted up a Game Boy game for an old video I did about Pokemon, and I played a Pokemon game. I can play Star Fox 64 on my MacBook. Oh, here, let me just play every single GameCube game. I don't know how much time I should entertain with this ridiculous notion.
Now, what does Xbox have? Xbox has Halo,
Not for long.
Gears of War.
No, Gears of War is not an Xbox exclusive. No, and the upcoming Gears of War 4 is going to have unlocked frame rates, 4K textures. I'm super excited. Sounds like it's really going to be a cool game.
Left 4 Dead.
Did this dense motherfucker just say Left 4 Dead was an Xbox exclusive? Not only are they both obviously available on PC, they have an extensively successful and thriving modding community.
I think they have something else. I'm not sure. They don't have a lot of exclusives.
Well, that part's correct. They don't. And they're going to have fewer as we go on.
As for PlayStation, we had exclusives until they took Xbox and the other consoles took our exclusives. We had Metal Gear for a while. We have The Last of Us, which is fantastic.
The Last of Us is on PC. It is no longer a PlayStation exclusive. Neither are pretty much any PS3 games now.
We have the infamous games. We have, well, what else? What else?
Now, take your time. Try to remember all those exclusives. I mean, you named two and one of them was wrong.
Before they ported them to Xbox, we had Resident Evil back in the day.
Oh, that sounds nice. We have it now on the PC. So there's that.
Up to that point, there was exclusive. We had Final Fantasy before they put it to the Xbox.
You know, I'm sort of noticing a trend here. You keep talking about all the exclusives that you used to have before they came to the Xbox and mostly the PC. You're kind of not doing a good job at selling your point here. I mean, one would think that you're pro-PC based on all these things you're saying.
So, PlayStation... No. We also have Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is still under our wing. Xbox and the other consoles do not have Kingdom Hearts.
Aha! I named one they didn't take away from us, yet.
No, Nintendo has it, but Nintendo didn't have the original exclusives of Kingdom Hearts. They just made the side games.
And never mind.
I'm talking about the main console games. They don't have main console games.
Except for the ones that they do have, which turns out to actually be somewhat of an extensive list.
That's basically what we have compared to the PC.
You named like 4 games.
PC doesn't have exclusives. Okay, they have games they can mod to make it feel like their own, but it's not truly their own.
Yeah, you're right. How many exclusives does the PC actually have? I mean, a lot of the time we talk about how there's thousands and thousands, blah, blah, blah. But how many is it really? How many games can we play that no one else can? And I hate the idea of exclusives. I wish everybody can play the game. There's reasons why a game would be an exclusive on the PC, you know, open platform, technical limitations. But really, how many exclusives do we really have on PC?
Well, yeah, what do we have on the PlayStation? We also had the PlayStation All-Stars game.
PlayStation All-Stars? Oh, sorry, that was the sound of my massive throbbing erection hitting the bottom of the desk. Give me a second.
We had the Jak and Daxter games. I'm trying to remember. We had a whole bunch of exclusive. Oh, we had the Ratchet and Clank games until they ported one to Xbox. No, they didn't port it. They didn't. We have that still to ourselves.
I mean, this video's just a train wreck. It is a train wreck, and I'm watching it unfold before my eyes. How awful. I'm gonna skip a lot of this part now. It's just, we're beating a dead horse at this point. It's clear this guy, again, doesn't know anything about anything, or he's just being counterproductive. Are you ready for a miracle? Ready as I can be. Are you ready for a miracle? A spirit will set you free. The
PC just bogs it down, which is the COD games. The same with the Battlefield franchise. The consoles just do it better.
Battlefield 1 will be at 720p on the Xbox One. Let that sink in for a second. 720p. Like it's 2002. Like it's 1917.
Our servers run a little bit faster.
No, they don't. Oh, and tell me again about all those third-party servers you pay Microsoft to connect to. Tell me more about that.
PC likes to use modded servers where we like to just play the game naturally the way it was intended.
We can have modded servers, sure, and sometimes they are more fun than the original game, but don't try to dress it up as console players like to play it vanilla. You don't have a choice, kiddo. Like, yeah, I can't afford a Lamborghini, but I prefer my Honda Civic.
Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, yeah. What do we have? Console has exclusive. We have exclusive.
Wait, what? Why are you walking away from that man? Save his life. That he's just hanging. Come on. What the fuck? You're a dick. He'll be fine if you just, like, give him a hand.
What do we have? What do we have? Console has exclusive. We have exclusive services that the PC does not have.
Like what? What services do you have on your consoles that we don't have either better versions of, more options for, or that are just simply better and freer?
We have exclusive accessories that the PC does not have. So,
Like what? Like the PlayStation Eye? The one, you know, the PlayStation Eye that's flying off the shelves? What accessories do you have that's even worth mentioning that we don't have?
yep.
Yeah, all those examples, man. They're just so why can't I hold all these examples? There is just so many of them.
Basically, that's what we have on exclusives. I think this exclusive section is the shortest one of them all, most likely.
PC has more exclusives, and we have emulators, and we have the largest library to access of games both new and old. It should be a short section.
So, overall, exclusives dominate. Our exclusives dominate, so, you know, let's get to the final part of this video.
Ooh boy, I cannot wait. Please, no, don't turn it off. I want to see more of this.
Which is the kicker to everything.
Ooh boy, all this hype. I sure hope that the finale lives up to all of it. Here we go.
Thank you so much, if you've been sticking around this far.
I don't think you understand how tough it really was. Overall, what? Are you fucking with me? A synopsis? This is what you've been teasing me with this whole time? Your idea of crushing the PC with your final blow is just to go over again all the wrong things that you've been saying so far? Give me a break. This is ridiculous. I want my money back. How dare you tease this and have it be shitty? How dare you? How dare you?
At last, number 5 is the overall to this video. The overall is PC cannot compete with gaming.
No, he's right. He's right about this, just not in the way he knows. PC cannot compete with console gaming. It would be unfair. It would be unsportsmanlike. It's like making Usain Bolt run against Stephen Hawking in a 100-meter sprint. It just wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be right. Stephen Hawking's white. He wouldn't have a chance. Yeah, you thought I was gonna be at the wheelchair, huh? Yeah, you thought I was gonna be at the wheelchair, and the fact he's like all crippled and shit. But no, ha.
PC is not the dominant king that most people believe.
Okay, but do you think there's a reason most people believe that? Do you think that they might believe that for certain reasons?
Consoles is the dominant form of gaming entertainment. PC comes behind handhelds. I'm sorry. A handheld comes over a PC any day of the week because, one...
Well, to be honest, I'd rather have a handheld than a console. I play my 3DS whenever I go on trips and stuff, and I enjoy it. Some good shit on the 3DS. It's a good system. I love my 3DS. I've played it way more than my PS4.
We just don't need to go through all that shit. Not only that, the best part about having a console is if we go on trips, we could take it with us.
Well, I mean, I could take my PC with me. We also have gaming laptops. And also, that's actually a bigger plus for the handheld, because I can put it in my pocket. Like, what are you doing? Playing Pokemon X? How is it?
And you might use the excuse, laptops. Still, not good enough.
How is it not good enough? It performs better than consoles a lot of the times, and it gives you all the benefits of having a PC, and it's portable, and you can still use controllers with... I don't see the downside here. Well, expensive for the form factor, I guess.
People want to use a controller.
Then use one. Shit, kid.
People want to have the novelty of having discs, like the advantage they say, oh, we don't need discs, we could just download our games.
Wait, the novelty of having a disc? I didn't know that it was a novelty to use a disc for a video game. I thought that was still pretty mainstream. What, show people a video game disc and they're not going to be like, ooh, wow, where did you get that?
Still, do not take away the novelty for people who like to collect discs. Do not take that away from them.
Look, it's not a novelty, and we're not taking away anything from you. What the fuck?
You know, you can have your downloads, fine, if that's what you're into. But there's people who want to have discs and download.
Then they can do that. More power to them.
It's accessible. Console has the accessibility for both. Their accessories work for both.
Yeah, my PlayStation Eye works just flawlessly.
It's just overall, the console knows what it's doing. The PC was not built to be a gaming console from the beginning. It was just used for media and
Totally irrelevant what it was originally designed for. That doesn't matter. Look at what it does now. Look at all the parts that are built for gaming. Look at all the games made for it. Can you honestly say that PC gaming isn't good because it wasn't originally designed for the sole purpose of playing games?
socialization and information, and then it was turned into a console.
Turned into a console, huh?
But a console like PlayStation 4, Xbox, handhelds, and the Wii U, those were bred to be gaming consoles.
No, they weren't bred. Breeding is one of my specialities, in fact. I can guarantee you those were not bred.
When they were being made, when they were being developed by their companies, Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony. At the times, you had Genesis, like Sega, the Dreamcast. All these games and consoles were designed to be games. But
Yeah, so you'd expect better of them, wouldn't you? Right? Right?
Right?
then the media aspects came in later. But what the consoles focused on most of all was games. We don't want to be an all-in-one entertainment system.
But that's what they try to be now. How do you justify that then?
We don't want to destroy our image of gaming.
You can't talk about how much you want to preserve the image of console gaming and then make videos like this. You can't have it both ways.
We don't want to destroy our way of playing just to focus on other things.
Double standard much?
So, I hope this video has been very informative to everybody.
It has informed me that there might be legitimate reasons why ISIS hates us.
Of the top 5 reasons why consoles outbeat the PC in almost every single way, in every single aspect, so on and so forth. Until next time, guys, this is John from JohnKill3D, and I hope you enjoy.
Oh, it's funny. He cut himself off again.
That was the top 5 reasons why the consoles beat the PC. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
I have literally enjoyed picking the dirt from my nails more than watching this video.
I put a lot of effort into making this video.
I do not believe you.
Took a couple clips from my games, the transitions, trying to make sure my voice was put in properly in different spots.
Well, we see how that worked out.
So I hope you guys really enjoyed what I just did.
Look, all the hope in the world is not going to change the fact that this video was awful. It was full of terrible misinformation, lies, straight up nonsense. I mean, yeah, I can hope that Indian actress Shamu just shows up at my doorstep one day and says, "Fuck me so hard I can't walk straight for a week," but, you know, chances are that's probably not going to happen. However, just in case, I will leave this up as an open invitation. Just in case. Just in case. God damn.
I did that solely for entertainment and just to entertain you all.
Does this look like the face of a black man who's entertained? No, it does not, because this is a dog.
And I hope you guys get those reasons. So, thank you very much.
Well, that was cringy to watch. Is that cool? Do people find that cool? Like that whole the katana spinning around, then slowly putting it up. Do people find that cool? Is that a cool thing? You know what's cool? Staying in school. Not doing drugs. Calling your mother. Pussy.